Good morning. Happy Friday. Can y'all believe it's Friday? I mean, I can because it's kind of been a long week. I can kind of believe it's Friday. My yard guy, Tommy, my bestest yard guy, he sprayed my flower garden for weeds yesterday. Yay. And I didn't even ask him to. He's just that kind of nice guy. Y'all ain't gonna believe what I did yesterday. Well, you know, it's been a hard week. And I've done some really dumb things, you know, like leave the sprinkler on all night. Well, guess what I did yesterday? I've never done this before, ever. But she's okay. So that's all that matters. But every morning I get up and I open the back door and the dogs, or now Penny, runs outside and Gracie goes outside, and then they all come back in, or so I thought, and I fix my coffee and my bagel and feed Gracie and do all the things, and then I walk Penny and little Penny, and then, you know, I go to work. Yeah, I do that every morning. Well, every morning that I have to go to work, yeah. So apparently yesterday my mind was elsewhere, so I didn't notice that Gracie didn't come back in. So when I got home from work, I thought, well, when I first walked in the door, because Gracie thinks she's a dog, okay? My mom said I raised her like you would raise a puppy. I said, well, all I've ever had is dogs. So I didn't really know what to do, but she would fetch. You know, she met me at the door for all intents and purposes. Intents and purposes, is that how it said? Yeah, anyway. She thinks she's a dog. Well, she didn't run to greet me yesterday. She don't run to greet me so much anymore, but she at least walks into the den when I open the door and acknowledges my presence, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't do that yesterday, and I thought, well, where's my Gracie girl? Well, immediately I go set my stuff down, and I open the back door to let Penny go out and pee-pee, right? Yeah, Penny go out and pee-pee. Yeah, I have to beg Penny to do such things. Here comes a dog. Now y'all can see how she really behaves. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yeah. Hey. Same dog as yesterday, Penny. Same dog. Hey. Shh. Hey, no ma'am. That was the hooch dog from yesterday. Turner and hooch dog. 12 times her size. Yeah, that's her. Nope, we're going this way. Come on. I know, girl. You did it. Come on. You told him who the boss was. Come on. Or her. I don't know if it's a him or her. Come on, let's go. Well, anyway, when I went to open the back door, guess who was sitting at the door? Gracie. She had been out there all day. Like my mind was going in and out. Like, what happened? Did she not come in? Y'all, she was out there all day. Now, there is water out there for the birds. Whether she found it or not, I don't know. My friend Mitzi had a cat that was accidentally locked in a house. And I want to say that dadgum cat was in there for 2 weeks. They had not sanitized. They probably did sanitize it. Winterized, that's the word. They had winterized the house and shut it up, and they didn't know the cat was in there. The cat lived on the condensation that was on the windows and bugs for 2 weeks until they realized. They drove by one day and she was sitting in the window. Cats are pretty resilient. But anyway, she immediately came in and ran to her water bowl. And then I realized I didn't even feed her yesterday morning. I mean, my mind was gone yesterday. I've never done that before. Never. But, you know, as we all know, I've had a little bit of other things on my mind this week. But anyway, she's fine. And guess what? Tommy came and cut the yard, which means the gate was open all day. Well, not all day, but while he was there. I said, did you see my cat? He said, yeah, I didn't know you had a Siamese. She's pretty. I said, yes, she's not usually outside like that. I said, she goes outside and she comes right back in unless it's a nice day and I'm at home. And then she lays out there. And he said, well, I didn't know she was there and I scared her a couple of times by accident. He said, but she didn't do anything or try to run out or anything. He said she just laid there looking at me, probably giving him the death stare. Anyway, I was like, well, I am a bad mama. I'm not a bad mama. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. I can't take another one. I cannot take another one. Because, I mean, she's 17. And I've had her for 17 years. Got her when she was 5 weeks old. Now look, don't take your brother's job of getting tangled up in the tree. Come on, come back this way. Anyway, that story yesterday about the bathroom. Somebody mentioned about the bathroom stalls having that space, that gap, so you can see in. When I worked uptown in Warrant Division, we shared a bathroom with the public, which was not an ideal situation, right? When you opened the door, it was a swing-in door. When you opened, which I think is against code, I think they have to swing out. I don't know, I could be wrong. Anyway, when you push the door open to walk in, you were staring at the gap, which was about that wide. And you could see the person sitting on the pot. Yeah, which isn't an issue if you're kind of sitting there straight up. You only might see the side of them a little bit. You know, it's not like a full-on shot, if you get my drift. Well, we had this woman who worked there. May she rest in peace. Her name is Gail, or was Gail. It's whatever. She's deceased, so I don't know the proper term for that. Is, was, I don't know. Anyway, Gail was very sweet, kind. She was actually very intelligent, which most people could not believe because of how she took care of herself. Please stand by. Anyway, so I just waved with a bag of poop. I apologize. Anyway, Miss Gail she was a different individual. Loved her to death. Like I said, she was very kind. However, she came to work one day. I'm just setting the stage. She came to work one day. She had something all over the front of her shirt. So the lieutenant over her unit, she was in the civil section. She entered civil papers. He said, Miss Gail, what you got all over your shirt? He's funny, but he's very, to call it plain spoken, I don't know. He says what's on his mind. He's kind of like me. I have a little more tact, but Kenny just said whatever popped in Kenny's mind. He said, Miss Gail, what you got all over your shirt? And she looked down and she said, oh, the baby threw up on me, which is her grandbaby. And Kenny just stared at her. He said, see, that's normally where Gracie is. Yeah. Come on, baby. Come on. There you go. Good job. Hold on. Okay, I still got a couple of minutes before I start work. Okay, so anyway, the grandbaby, had spat up a lot on her shirt. And she didn't even try to wipe it off. Does that tell you anything? I'm not making fun of her. I'm just stating a fact. That's kind of how she was. On another occasion, she brought in her camera and she told the sergeant, these are absolutely true stories. She told the sergeant, she said, I can't get my camera to work. I can't see through the viewfinder. And the sergeant said, okay. So he gets a little screwdriver and he takes the back off of her camera and outruns an entire colony of cockroaches, okay? Just want to set the stage for Miss Gail. So, when you walked in the bathroom, like I said, there was a gap. And if you hit it just right, you could see into the stall. Miss Gail would go in there, and it was a handicap stall, so there was a rail, you know, to help you get up. And Miss Gail would go in there and fall asleep. And she would lean over with her elbow on that rail, and she'd fall asleep in the bathroom. It was terrible. It was so sad. It was terrible. But it would just be like, there's 2 stalls. There are 2 stalls for an entire floor of people working, plus the public. And she's asleep in one of the stalls. Miss Gail was a hot mess, but she always carried, and when I say carried, I mean she carried a cane. I never, ever, one time saw her use that cane, but she looped it over her arm, and she would walk down to the post office to carry the mail instead of, you know, just putting it in the basket to mail out. And she would have all this mail in her hand and her cane draped over her arm carrying it. I was like, but why are you carrying it? Because, I mean, even if you if you need it, you can't get to it quick enough with your arm full of mail. Anyway, God love her. She was so sweet. And like I said, she was so smart. We all had to write job descriptions out. And the colonel said he was most impressed with hers because it was so well written. And she had beautiful penmanship. They just didn't know how to take care of themselves. She used to bring her son to work way, way, way back. And he would lay down under her desk and sleep. He was already like 6 foot tall when he did this, yeah. Anyway, another incident that occurred with Miss Gail, and this will be the last one. She got up and she walked past her desk, another desk, and then there was the lieutenant's desk up front. And by each desk, there's a trash can. She was trying to make it to the bathroom, which once you went through that door, you had to cross the lobby, go in a door, and then there was the bathroom. She didn't make it, and she did not choose a trash can. She, all over the lieutenant's desk. Yeah, Miss Gail. Anyway, that was the other bathroom story I wanted to tell you. She would sleep in the bathroom, so anyway. But she retired from there. Yeah, she stayed there long enough to retire and moved on with life. And anyway, that's enough of that. And I'm not making fun of her. I'm just telling you the facts. I was always kind to her, and she was always kind to me. But that's just who Miss Gail was. And anybody who worked with me will agree that that's just who Miss Gail was. So, all right, it's 8 o'clock. Y'all have a fantastic day. Why does the temperature on the phone say 45 degrees? Oh, it says 70. I was like, wait a minute. It's the work phone, and I guess you have to tap on it for it to change the temperature. I don't know. I think I don't know if it's an Android or a Google phone. I don't know what it is. I hardly know how to use it because I drank the Kool-Aid and I have an iPhone. I've only had an iPhone like several years ago I switched, but I switched back to iPhone because my parents had iPhones and it's so much easier to help them with their problems when you have the same phone, you know. So anyway, I just prefer my iPhone. But I will say, iPhones cannot flip the screen while you're talking in an Android. And I think the Google phone, Samsung, no, Android, I don't know. Anyway, those other phones can. And that is the biggest downfall for an iPhone for me. But I just have to stop recording and flip and then start recording again, which is so annoying. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Remember, I love you and Jesus loves you. And I hope he's coming back soon because people be crazy. And I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.